Hello there, Karen here, and today I'm doing another Christmas layout using this cut file from the Hip Kit Club. This was in the one of their December cut files. And I'm starting off by using the Heidi Swap Colour Shining Gold and brayering it on. This is my new technique, as I don't really get on very well with the packaging technique. I always seem to make a bit of a mess, and I quite like this way of rolling it on. This is the idea I got from Missy Whidden. This is something she's done a couple of times, and I really like the control it gives me of where I put the colour. And then on top of that, I'm doing a few splatters. This is a Creamies by Shimmers. It was in the December colour kit, and it's called Red Necking. So I'm just doing a few splatters with that, just to give a little bit of red to the page. Not an awful lot. I just thought I'd just do a few red splatters and see how it looked. So just a little bit on the page, and then I'm just doing round the edge of the cut file. I've got a gold ink pad and a piece of cut and dry foam, and I'm just edging with gold the whole of the cut file, just that it shows up against the background, which you'll see in a moment. And then my next idea was to back two of the rows of baubles with some gold glitter card. So I'm just applying a couple of strips, and I'm going to leave the middle one blank so that the backing card shows through, the backing paper shows through. But on the two outside ones, I'm going to do this glitter gold cardstock, and I really like the way the effect that gives. And I made it wide enough so it also covers the little dots or the little holes on the inside of the baubles. And I'm just using some wet glue to stick it down. That seems to work the best. So I'm just using my remote control just to hold it in place, because I usually watch TV while I'm scrapbooking. And I've just trimmed it off and just dabbing it down, holding it in place. And it did hold really well, actually. The glue works very well on this on the glitter card. And then I'm just where the edge of the card is, I'm just using a bit of double-sided tape just to hold it down even more strongly along the edge. And also it'll help to stick it to the backing paper in a moment as well. It's just a few little bits of tape just along the edge of it. And then I'm going to get the second piece, the second strip, on the outside row of baubles. There you can see the two rows of baubles with backed with gold glitter. And I really like how that looks, because it keeps it fairly simple without backing each individual bauble with cardstock, and it makes it look really pretty and sparkly. And then just put some more backing, some more double-sided tape. So I'm using that to stick it to the backing paper. You can see it's that beautiful red backing paper with it's got sort of white mistletoe all over it, and I really love it. That is a piece of paper by My Mind's Eye. It's this year's Christmas collection called Jingle All the Way. I used that because when I started doing this layout, when I started thinking about it and put it together, I hadn't actually received my December hip kit. But as you can see, in the meantime, it did come. And so I'm going through all the embellishments now, trying to decide which embellishments I can use from the hip kit to put on this layout. And just pointing there to that puffy sheet where a couple of the letters were actually missing. They weren't in the package, they're just not there. But I'll just have to manage without them. So I picked out a few things. I first of all thought I might try and use some of these chipboard frames. So I'm just testing them out, just auditioning them really. But so there was a lovely wreath one there, and then there's a nice one that's like a proper little frame. But you can see they don't really fit on the paper, on the pictures. I have in the meantime, I think my camera died at some point, and I have in the meantime backed my two photos with some gold tissue paper, just to give it a little backing against the white of the cardstock. I'm still trying out some frames and giving up on that idea. So now I'm just having a look through the two packs of cardstock embellishments, both of which were exclusive to the hip kit. This one is just the embellishment pack, and I'm just going through them all, picking out a few that might work on my layout, and just thumbing through them, trying them out, seeing which ones I like. I'm picking out here little parcels, because I really love that Santa Claus, and I thought he would go really well there. So I thought it would be nice to have a few little parcels scattered around the bottom of the photo, bottom of the layout there, with as he's holding a parcel in his hand. So that's mainly what I'm picking out, and also a few floral clusters which I might add to the page, and that banner which says Holly Jolly, which I really like in that position, and that's where it will end up. And then the other little pack we had was, I think they were called tags and die cuts, I think. So it's very similar but also exclusive, just slightly different things, but I picked out a few of those as well. I think there are a few more parcel shapes in there as well, which I've picked out. So now I'm just arranging where I think they might go. And there were also some extra baubles in one of those packs, which I'm going to add at some point. But at the moment, I'm just trying a few things out, trying out some flowers, some bits and pieces to see how they look on the page. I didn't want it to be overly busy with embellishments because there's quite a lot of busyness with the cut file. So I've backed the two photos with some craft foam, as I usually do, and I'm just sticking those to the layout, and that's where they're going to go. This was on Christmas Day, little family photos. Alyssa had a really wonderful time on Christmas Day opening all her presents. So that's more or less most of the embellishments there that I'm going to use. I do like that little floral cluster, and I think either that one or a slightly smaller one is going to make it to the page, but temporarily I'm trying out the baubles in that position, but I don't really like them there, so I've tried them over on the left hand side and I like them a lot more there. They just seem to balance the page with those few baubles there on the left. So I'm just leaving them sitting there to decide whether I like them and working on my title. And these alphas are by Pinkfresh Studios, and they're from, I don't know which collection they're from. Let me just quickly check. They're from Holiday Wishes, so they are from their Christmas collection. These beautiful blue cardstock letters, and then the little puffy letters. This set, the red ones are from the Hip Kit exclusive for this Christmas kit. It's called Holiday Happenings. That's the name of the collection. And then the dark blue ones, which match the dark blue of the chipboard letters, that's again from Pinkfresh Studios, and that's from Indigo Hills too. Again, these are the puffy letters. I think they were in a previous hip kit, and I thought they went really well with the navy chipboard letters that I'd used as well. So that's going to be the title, First Christmas Together. And I've decided I do like those little baubles on the left there. I really think they go quite well with the bauble theme on the cut file. So I thought I'd use this. It's a sort of gold lurex thread, and I'm going to use it, just stick it down to the back, to the edge of the page, and then position the baubles over it so that it looks like they're all strung together on a gold glittery string, I suppose, a bit like the gold glittery string that I've got the impression of it being on the other side of the layout. Sticking with the gold glitter theme. You can never have too much gold glitter on a Christmas layout. So I'm just using my tacky glue, Scotch tacky glue, just to stick the gold thread down there, and just chopping off a few pieces of foam because that's now the baubles are going to have to stick on top of that. I thought I needed lifting a little bit above the string, otherwise it might bend a bit in the middle. So I thought if I put a little bit of foam either side of each bauble, they will sit nice and flat, just raised a little bit above the gold glitter thread. I'm just sticking them on there, just straddling either side of that bit of thread. And just sticking the final one down. There we go. Now I've got this little pack. This wasn't in the hip kit. I just bought it when I was out shopping over Christmas, and I rather like them. There's these little sequins where they're like a little flower, but they're actually quite dimensional. They're quite sort of deeply. It's almost like they've been rolled, because they've got the petals stick up quite a bit on the side, and they're quite dimensional. And I wasn't at all sure whether with the baubles being up on foam already, I wasn't sure, though I like them on the baubles, they're going to make it stick up a bit too much, be just that little bit too dimensional. So I wasn't sure whether I would use those or not, because I wasn't sure how they'd fit in the sleeve. So I've left them there, and I'm thinking about whether I'm going to use them or not. I end up doing something a little different, although I do use them. So in the meantime, I'm just going to stick a few bits and pieces down. First of all, that little floral cluster. There was one of the die cuts. I like that behind that corner, so that's going in. And the banner, the Holly Jolly banner, I like that too, so that's going to go down like that in that position. And the little Father Christmas die cut and all the little parcels. They're all going to be... So all these, I'm sticking these down while I'm considering what I do about the little red flower sequins. Because they're nice and Christmassy, and I do like them, but I think they're a little bit dimensional for that position. So the next thing I'm going to do is to stick down the title. I'm going to use a bit of glue to stick all these down, so I won't show you the whole process. That will take a little while just to get everything stuck down, all the individual letters, because there's a bit of mixed media on there. Not a lot. They probably would have stuck okay, but just to be sure they don't fall off, I'm using glue for all the letters. Just moved it along a little bit because it's wasn't quite right. There we are. It's all stuck down now. This is my other idea for the baubles. I've got some more of that gold glitter thread, and I'm just making a few little bows, and I thought perhaps I'll try those, and I quite like those. So I've got a little bow for each of the baubles to stick at the top of each one. And as I moved off the little flowers, I thought, well, if they're flat on the cardstock, they're not going to be sticking up so much, so I thought I'd use them and just scatter them about the page as well, because that just gives it that little bit of Christmassy prettiness and little bit of shine. And I took them off I had originally thought to put some on the baubles on the right hand side on the cut file, but I thought that was making it too much, so I've just scattered them around, just around the photos. And a couple of stickers, these more exclusive embellishments from the Hip Kit Club. There's their clear stickers, and the first one says, oh, can't see it, family time, the one at the top. Then I found a little one that says 2018, so I thought that would go quite well and just finishes off the title over there. And I've just got a final one to put underneath, which says, oh, what fun. I'm just sticking that under that photograph there. And I'm just going to stick the little bows on. Now that I've decided I'm happy with those, and I've stuck down the little red flowers as well. And my final touch is these wooden buttons, again, more exclusives from Hip Kit. It was absolutely packed with exclusive this time. Little wooden buttons, and just put a 2 or 3 on there, just to finish it off. Just deciding where they're going to go. They're a little bit quite dimensional, these ones, so a couple of them I left on the sticky pad, and then the last one I put on, I actually remove it so it's not sticking up as much. So it just gives it a little bit less dimension on the page. And that's pretty much it. So this was fun to do. I really enjoyed using this cut file. I'm going to have to use some more of their cut files. I think they're great this year. There's a big selection on the website. So do have a look and see if you can see them. Thank you for joining me, and do join me again soon. Bye.